Hey everyone, I'm coming to you live. Excuse my cold. Trying to get this even. Okay, let's see. Hey everyone's Trisha. Sorry I wasn't writing much yesterday or the day before. I was actually a bit tired. And anyways, you know me, once I usually come on Tuesdays. So I said, yeah, I'm going to come on. So make sure you like my video, you love it, you share it out, you let your friends that this is going on right now. Let me know where you're tuning in from so I could say hi to you. Because I really want to talk about this topic about guidance in a Christmas tree. Okay. I just shared it on my Instagram. I just shared it not too long ago. I just shared it. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm not going to be here very long because I have two dogs that want to go outside and do their thing. Hi, Cindy. Hi there, Suna. Hey, my students are here. Right on. So you're probably wondering, what are you talking about today, Trisha? What is going on with the guidance and Christmas tree? Well, I have a Christmas tree in my living room. Usually, I'll tell you that. I don't want to skip to the story yet. And all my hands, one of my hands has all kinds of scratches. I'll explain why. No, I didn't get into a fight. Maybe with the Christmas tree, but okay. So let me tell you a little story because I like to story tell. So late last night, I had this intuitive guidance to find a Christmas tree. It was around it was around 3 or 4. And where I'm living, it gets dark pretty early. So I got off from the couch and I thought to myself, where would I go to do that? Where am I going to go? Should I go buy one? Usually I go buy one at, there's this gas station I usually go. It's across from the Fangor May. But all the trees were gone. Scratch that. Couldn't do that. So the other thing is maybe I should go cut one down. Maybe I should go cut one down. And I'm like, I haven't done that since I was 9 years old. To be quite honest, I've never done that. Well, I did it when I was a kid. So I live in my native community, so my options are pretty much unlimited. So there's a bunch of Christmas trees out here. And I decided to go into the woods. And my dogs came with me. I had my handy axe and I had gloves on and I had, anyways, I'll tell you a little bit more. Has anybody ever done this? You just have this guidance to go out with your axe and you're like, well, I can't, like, have you ever done that? Usually I don't do that. So I decided to go in the woods. It is mid-December. All the trees have no leaves, right? There's a bunch of Christmas trees around here. So it made it easier for me. It made it easier for me to see if one would be a good fit for my house because my ceilings are pretty high. Okay. They're about 8 feet. Yeah. And it was cold. It was pretty cold that day. It was windy. The kind of cold that makes you want to stay inside until the summer. It was a bit cold. Okay. So I bundled up in every layer of clothing. So I had this on. I had my my tie-dyed jogging pants. They were black and white. And I had another shirt underneath. What else did I have? I had a hat. I had my scarf. I had my expensive jacket, which you shouldn't do when you're going to go for a Christmas tree. Anyways, I had to have that on. So, not very stylish except for my jacket. I headed out into the woods. Headed out in the woods to chop down my very own Christmas tree. So, guidance really came to me. It really came to me at the last minute. And I needed to know where the best time. When is the best time, right? So, as soon as I got to the woods, I started walking with my dogs. I started looking around at all the trees. I went in and out. It's pretty crunchy where I am because it was raining the other day. And I went down where the trails were behind my house, and it was pretty crunchy, and my dogs weren't having it, especially my oldest. So he wanted to go the other way, so I followed him. I followed him. So I had a criteria. I had to choose a tree to fit in this house. And I had a list. I had my list. I had a feeling, right? And I needed to have something that was really nice looking, that had good energy. I had to pick my tree. And so trees are for free, especially in the woods. So it didn't take me very long since there's so many choices out there. Hey, Virginia. Since there was so many choices out there. In fact, choosing one tree proved to be very interesting. As usual, I looked at maybe 4 or 5 trees. I kept going in, out, and I'm like, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't land. It's just not it. So there wasn't any logical way that I did this behind my decision. It was just a feeling I had, which I really loved. Okay. So as soon as I was walking back towards the house. It was getting dark. It was really, and I saw this tree right in front of my land. It really stuck out for some reason. And to me, when it's dark, you think the tree is a little bit poofier, and it wasn't. It really wasn't. It really wasn't. But anyways, I really liked it. So I got my axe out. Yeah, I got my axe out. I took off the plastic thing off, and I got my gloves, and I started chopping down the tree. But before I chopped down the tree, because it was getting dark, I had my iPhone with the light on. You click on the light. And it took me about maybe an hour to cut down the tree. It took me an hour to cut down the tree. My left arm was getting pretty sore. Oops. Before my phone is about to. So I don't want to get long winded here, but so I finally cut it down. I remembered how I cut one when I was younger. And so you had to really pull on it. So you had to cut one side, cut another side. I cut a couple of trees around it, and you got to keep pulling and pulling and pulling. So finally, it broke down, and here I am. I have to drag it out. So I asked Troy, "Can you drag it out?" My arms they were sore. They were really sore. So I decided, okay, all right. So brought it in. Before we brought it in. So I had this idea. Okay, this is how I do this. I pretty much feel things, right? And I was seeing things, and at that point, I was like, this is how I do things. It's not logical what I do. I had this feeling to go get a tree, and that's what I did. And so I started to cut off extra trees, making sure it fit into my house. And then the police come by, and they were probably thinking I was doing something. Anyways, I started laughing at that point. Anyways, anything to do with authority, I'm going to laugh at. That's just me. Nothing to do with police. It's just, it was funny. They probably think I was slicing up Troy, which I wasn't. It was just a tree. So I brought it in, and I was just thinking about how I created my very self-created psychic activation bundle from pretty much spirit, from guidance, pretty much how I got my tree. And I can't tell you specific instructions on how I created my bundle. I can't give you a logical step by step. It wasn't logical. I just knew, from doing all of these readings I did throughout the year and the guidance, just like how I picked my tree, that's how I did it. And so I got to tell you a little bit more, okay? So let me know in the chat, let me know in the comments below if this really resonates with you. And how many of my students are here? I want you to write student. How many students of mine are here right now who bought the Psychic Activation Bundle? Just write the word student so I can see you. Even though you're watching replay, you might be watching replay, put hashtag replay. I'm going to tell you another thing. So, by the way, did you know that psychic abilities, intuitive guidance when it comes, is developed? It is actually activated, then it's awakened, then it's developed. Did you know that? Put a yes in the chat if you know that. A lot of people are quiet today. So my abilities, the ability to tune in has been getting stronger every year, every year, every year. And it gets stronger all year round, especially since I made this bundle, which is going to be released at the end of the month. Okay. It's going to be released by December 31st. Okay. So sometimes I'll just give you a little bit. Sometimes I really pick up a pen and paper. Sometimes I do it through computer. Okay. Sometimes I go for a walk with my dogs around the land, just to name two examples. Okay. My hands will start writing messages in automatic writing with the intuitive guidance that I get, just as I picked my Christmas tree. That's what happens. So it's kind of like receiving intuitive guidance from my guides, from the ancestors, and that's what happens. And when I'm in public and when I do private readings, this is what happens. And as soon as I get out of the car or I walk into a store, my abilities, they kick in and automatically guide me to wherever I need to go and wherever the information is coming from. That's what happens. Okay. And so that happens to me a lot. Okay. So my ability to tune in has really, and to receive, has improved so much that I can feel when someone is thinking about me. I can also, which was intuitively guided to me last night, right? So if you're wondering why I haven't returned, someone's email or phone call, it's because I know already. I already know it's going to happen, right? So now you know. And probably because I'm busy also. So I hope this information is helpful, but don't let it stop you from living your life without making excuses for yourself, right? Because if guidance comes to you, hey, Polly, if guidance comes to you in one way, okay, I really encourage you to follow through and do what you're being told to do or what you're being guided to do. And don't worry about the rest. I'm just telling you. So, when you psychic abilities, for me, I do it the indigenous way. It comes and it goes. It depends on where I am in my evolution. And it depends on your evolution as well. Okay? Guidance doesn't always make sense. Just like I was told to get off, just like I was told to get off the couch, grab the axe, and then, well, I had, I'm like, I'm going to get a Christmas tree. I could have logically said, well, that makes no sense. I could have said that. That's illogical. Well, actually, Troy said that too. It's kind of dark. You're not going to find anything. Oh, I heard it. But I didn't listen. Okay. So, like I said, doesn't make sense. It makes no sense until we receive it, right? From Spirit to make us understand it. So, thank you for listening. And I hope this message has been helpful because I'm honestly, I am tired. All my arms here are tired. Here is really sore. Here is sore because I'm not used to, using those muscles. And back here was sore, and I had to take a huge nap today. So, like I said, intuitive guidance can be very useful when we pay attention. I paid attention last night. I thought about it too. I'm like, this is too late, what are you doing, Trisha? This is nonsensical. It makes no sense. People are gonna be, blah blah blah, and just like no. Okay. So, like I said, so let me tell you that if you're interested in really activating and awakening this side of you, just like I gave you the story about how I used, oh no, shoot. I gotta go back anyways, I have to go soon. So if you're interested, I'm going to put, just give me a second. Okay. If you would like to pre-order, I only have 11 spots left. So inside of my group, okay, I'm just going to give me a second. You can pre-order here. Like I said, there is 11 spots left. Okay, I'm just coming here. Let me see. There's 11 spots left. And once you're gone, the price is going to be raised to $99 if you're a last minute person. And I would come back and I have 5 spots left. It does go really fast. Okay. It is only $30. Just $30. Okay. So what you get a psychic workbook. Okay. You get also a mini video training. I show you techniques, housekeeping, boundaries. I also give you the psychic powers assessment. So it's like a quiz, tells you which type of psychic strengths you have. Also the Awaken 3Cs, journal prompts, cheat sheets on how to remove and heal intuitive blocks. You also get the reading calendar for 2022, 2023, if I can speak right, to help you take, track of your oracle card patterns and see how you're progressing. Also, indigenous audio meditations. Maybe I should slow down. Indigenous audio meditations. I'm sorry. So I'm channeling the medicine wheel teachings and guidance on how to awaken your visions, your spirit, and feel the energy of your readings. Okay. There's 4 bonuses. So the bonus number 1 is the Facebook community. Very, very helpful. Okay. Number 2 is the professional psychic script. So are the questions I get asked often, and I actually wrote them all down. And this is also, I know what works and what doesn't. Okay. So, and I also know what works for them to keep coming back to me. Not that they're going to get hooked on me. Okay. So the other thing is the 7 Indigenous Mirrors PDF. This is what area needs to be healed and cleaned off. The fourth one is the mini group Grey Wolf readings. I am booked all the way till March. So if you want to get up on that, I would suggest you sign up. Okay. So with that being said, okay. And you get lifetime access to this bundle, which is priceless. So there's the link right here. Okay. You can just copy and paste, and when I get off, it's going to work. Okay. There's 11 spots left. Boop, boop. 11. And once they're gone, I'm going to raise the price. You still can get in, but it's only going to be $99. I'm just going to tell you now. Okay. All right. I hope you enjoyed what I said here, and I'm going to go. And I'm going to enjoy my night. And I do have something for winter solstice. Make sure that I'm going to put that later on, and make sure that you follow me. And yeah, can't wait to see you on the inside. All right. Anybody have any comments or questions before I leave? I know I'm talking really fast. Does anybody have any comments or questions before I go? Peggy already signed up. Yes. Okay. Anybody else have any comments or questions about the bundle? You're welcome, Peggy. Anybody have any comments or questions? Going once, going twice. No? Sometimes I gotta wait because I have a bit of a delay. All right, so there's no more comments or questions. I am gonna head off. And I think my dogs want to go out. It's a bit dark here. Okay, I'm gonna go. All right. Remember, if you're watching the replay, put a hashtag replay. Thank you. I will take care of my arms. I am no longer 26. My body is telling me, you are not 26 anymore, Trisha. You are 46, and you're going to feel it. Like, okay. All right. Abnamotas.